Ivan Pavlenko, From Family to Family, Chapter 4, Part 1.5, Karpylivka, 8th grade school. Read by Natalia Abizova. Party meetings were held in our organization once a month. They considered mainly the resolutions of the plenums of the Central Committee and various agricultural issues. As a teacher, I had nothing to do with them, so I refrained from participating in discussions, so as not to show my awareness of what and how to do and what decisions to make. No one except the school principal knew about my time in Komsomol and party work and in the editorial office of the regional newspaper. But gradually, my competence revealed itself. Once I was elected secretary of the meeting, and before it ended, I skillfully drew up the draft decision. Our Katerina Savchenko looked at it, all this, and expressed her surprise. How did you immediately draw up the decisions of the meeting so well? I replied that they taught that at the institute. After that, I was increasingly elected secretary of the meeting. So I unwittingly turned into a consultant and assistant secretary of the party organization in the area of drawing up protocols, resolutions, and reporting papers. And one day, she asked me to write a short speech for her to speak at a funeral. I sat down and immediately in the office prepared a one-page text. The results of this display of skill and knowledge were not very pleasant for me. At the reporting and election meeting, Katerina Savchenko praised me and offered to elect me as secretary of the party organization. I immediately challenged it, citing the fact that the party organization was connected with collective farm production, which Katerina Savchenko knew well. And I was a teacher, and there would be no influence on the state of affairs on the collective farm on my part. I was supported by the instructor of the district party committee who was present at the meeting, and Katerina was again elected party secretary organizer, and I was elected deputy. Soon after that, elections to local councils took place, and I was elected deputy of the Dubysh village council, which included Karpylivka. The third secretary of the district party committee, Ostapets, came to the first organizational session. There, I recognized him as a wonderful singer. After the session, 50 rubles were collected for drinks and candy from those wishing to participate in the party, and snacks had been prepared in advance at the expense of the village council. We set up tables in one of the offices, sat down, and Ostapets raised the first toast to the health of the elected deputies and to the success in their work. Then came our toast. I was sitting opposite Ostapets. He had a clear, beautiful baritone, and I had tenor. When he heard me, he suggested that the two of us perform something together, and we sang the song, "You Are My Love." Oh, girl, what have you captured a young heart with at that time of the evening? You are my love. Oh, you girl, proud. How beautiful the consonance of our voices was, and what applause. And not because the secretary of the district party committee sang, but because the performance was truly wonderful. 2 years later, Tsuman district was annexed to Kiversivsky, and Ostapets was elected second secretary of the district party committee. At that time, I was already working as a director in Lichane, as a principal in Lichane. After one of the meetings in the district committee, we again came face to face. "Where are you in a hurry to?" he asked. "To the bus," I answered. "Wait for me here," he suggested. "I'll now go to Tsuman and give you a lift." On the way, he asked me about work at the new place, recalled how we sang together, and was generally in a good mood. He was then only 36 years old, and I was 40. Taller than me, black-haired and slender, with a beautiful, strong-willed face. He looked like an ancient Greek Helen. Young, life-giving strength flowed from his athletic build and from his fiery eyes. In Derna, we stopped at an office. He got out of the car and told me to wait a little. 5 minutes later, he returned and said, "Get out, let's have a bite." The chairman of the collective farm and the party organizer secretary took us to a tea house. There, in a separate room, we drank 100 grams and had a good dinner. We sang along the way. He started and I joined him. He took me to the liquor crossroads and said a warm farewell. And I took the bus and went to Lichane. That was our last meeting. A year later, he was elected first secretary of the Manevichi District Party Committee. He worked in the new and last position in his life until Gorbachev's perestroika and until his retirement. He brought the remote Poltava region into one of the best in the region, developed Manevichi, which from a deserted village turned into a beautiful regional town.